To the stage. Well, she already on the stage. On the stage is, I'm just going to tell y'all, you know, our poets have different personalities. You'll see that if you don't know that already. This one right here, I'll say this. She brings a class act to what we do. Because as you see, I'm not always that classy. Don't even motivate. But I like to have fun. But I like to see class, and that's it. You're looking at it right there. That's what I'm telling you. She brings a class act to Yaktown Poets, and I'm happy to have her. She is, I know, wait, let me ask you this. How many of y'all are her students?
There you go. Raise your hand. There you go.
She is one of the most committed people I've ever worked with. I mean that. And one thing I will say about Akina Long-Benton is, if she says she for you, she's going to have your back. She's very, very supportive. And where her mouth goes, her money goes. It ain't like, y'all know them folk that talk a lot of, they ain't going to give you nothing. Girl, I got you when you need it. When you doing what? I want to be involved. When you call them, you ready to go? You ready to ride? Girl, you know, that ain't until. That ain't a key. If Kia tell you I got you, she got you. That's one thing I like about her, because I try my best to be supportive of it. If I believe in what you're doing, I try to be supportive. If I can't give you my money, I try to give you my time. And you can't say that about a lot of people, but I can say that about her. So she's good people. We're glad to have her on. And so she's it's her first time featuring for Yaktown Poets. So, put your fingers together for Yaktown Poets only. Akina, no. That's not her stage name. Lady Deshawn. Give it up for Lady Deshawn.
Yeah. Okay, this is my camera lady. You got the boots? You got the boots?
Yes, I do.
Come closer.
Hold them up so we can see them.
Y'all can't see. They can't see. There you go. Okay. You guys got to keep me track on my time, because I have a lot of pieces, but I'm going to be respectful of the mic and not go over. So, students on my time, tell me. Okay, all right. I do want to thank those of you who came out, especially my CMU students. Central Michigan in the house, yes! My dear husband, can't do a lot of what I do without him. I have a lot of family and friends in the audience. Wave your hand, please. Okay. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to start out with a piece about Motown, Detroit. The D. Most people have negative perceptions of it. Always something bad to say about it. Yet on this day, I will sing its praises. It's where I learned to live on my own at the young age of 17. It's where I woke up early, many mornings, before the busyness of the world began, to complete college homework assignments. It's where I earned scholarship after scholarship after scholarship. It's where I earned my multiple degrees and graduate college certificates. It's where I taught and molded young minds. It's where I learned to spread my wings and professionally fly. It's where I met my love and dated him for 10 precious years. Where is this place, you might ask? Detroit. Although born and raised in the Yak, both my professional and adult lives were shaped in the D. Thank you, Detroit.
Detroit.
And this one, the next two I'll read will be about men. Yeah. The first one will be very innocent. It's about a little boy. And it's entitled Chocolate Joy Drop. In the back. Okay. Chocolate Joy Drop. At the hands of a small child, my life changed late yesterday evening. Here's how it all happened. I visited a classmate's house for a reunion meeting, only to find out my weeks were crossed up and there was no scheduled meeting. In the basement of her home, I reached down to touch the softest French braids that I've ever seen. They were sprinkled with cotton ball remnants on the head of a small little chocolate boy. I'm guessing he's around 4 years old. As I reach to stroke his hair and remove those cotton particles, he simultaneously buries his face in the side of my head. I'm overwhelmed by this long embrace, but I don't have the courage to remove his strong childlike grip. He keeps this posture the entire time that I'm in his presence. Well, almost the same posture. My classmate sees me tending to this little boy's hair and says, "It'll all be gone soon." Confused, I asked her what does she mean. She tells me that the boy's mother receives welfare assistance and the state is forcing her to cut her son's hair in order to continue to receive state benefits. In disbelief, I make a mental note to research whether this irrational allegation is actually true. By this time, I'm really drawn to this little boy, and I inquire about him. Of course, he's within earshot, since he's literally joined on my hip. The classmate shares that he may be soon placed in foster care because his mother is not really around to care for him. However, the classmate is not willing to do it because all her children are nearly grown, and she refuses to start over. The classmate's friend shares that she already has a house full of kids, and the mere thought of having another one is taxing. So this young lad overhears our conversation, and he looks into my eyes and tenderly asks the question, "Can I live with you?" My heart melts, and a million thoughts instantly flood my mind. Am I willing to commit to someone for 14 years? What about my career? What about graduate school? Am I even up for this challenge? Do I have the temperament to rear a child of my own? And thoughts like that continue, and they continue. Since there is no reunion meeting, I decide to leave and connect with my husband, who is at one of our church functions. Of course, the lad must accompany me, since now he's found his home in my right leg. But when we enter the church, the baptismal service has just concluded, and the saints are just sitting around and enjoying each other's company. I walk up to my husband with the joint big boy hit at my hip and whisper, "I'd like to introduce you to our son." The minister exclaims, "Our what?" I whisper louder, "Our son," thinking he's having a hard time hearing me over the gospel music in the congregational chapel. I continue with, "I've been asking you to give me a puppy for years, and you never did. So here's our son." He laughs robustly and looks at me as if I'd just fallen on my head and loosened a couple of marbles. Not the reception that I was expecting, I decided to leave and research whether that bizarre haircut allegation is actually true. I drive to a local social work's office, and I look up on informational session. Many issues were on the floor, but I am struck by the outcry of the welfare system recipients. There is no greater time than now for me to pose my question. I asked the representative, "Is it true that little boys can't wear their hair braided?" The representative responds, "Yes, you are correct. Braids are a cultural practice that the state does not agree with. As a result, the state will not financially support any household who engages in such a practice." I'm utterly shocked by her response, and for once, I'm unable to speak. Yet I do muster a simple thank you. As I sit and listen to the chaos, the little boy has now nestled his face into my right armpit. I couldn't even imagine what thoughts were going on through his young mind. Mentally exhausted from the meeting's racial overtones, I decided to leave. I returned to my classmate's house to drop off the chocolate joy drive. We enter the house, still joined together. He has now returned to his original position of his face being buried on the right side of my leg. I make small talk with the ladies and confirm the bizarre haircut claim. The young lad finally releases me to go get something to drink. Since we are no longer joined together, I cannot lose this opportunity to escape. With the events of the day, I've made up my mind that the adoption system and that process, if it resembles anything like the welfare system, I'm not built for it. Besides, without the support of my husband, the adoption fee appears less appealing. Also, in my subconscious mind, I'm immediately reminded it takes 2 yeses and 1 no. Advice that Dr. Field gives couples when they're considering rearing a family. As I make my way down the hall, I hear in a desperate, faint voice, the little boy curiously asks, "Where'd she go?" Of course, my heart sinks as I exit the house. This small child momentarily changed my life, even if it was just in a dream. Wide awake, and almost a year later, this dream still tugs at my heartstrings. It forces me to occasionally ask about how many little chocolate joy drops are without nurturing homes, lost in an unjust welfare system, just waiting for someone to affirmatively respond to their most earnest question. Will you adopt me? I got time. So this one bothered me. Y'all back right. Windows to our souls. It was a community affair, joyous occasion, small town, many familiar faces, frequent hugs. It felt like a family reunion. She noticed the man. He watched her every move, but would never look her in the eye. Why? She wanted to speak with him, at least say hello. He became lost in the crowd. As they departed, destiny forced their paths to cross. It finally dawned on her. This was the man who had violated her 20 years ago. She had forgiven him. She had forgotten about the entire incident, relieved of all of those negative feelings. She spoke, she waved, she moved on. But I guess he had forgiven himself. Okay, talk to me. What time? What time I got? 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes, okay. All I can do is short ones. Okay. Campus safety. She was walking home from work, college student, yet carefree, no worries. She felt someone following her, but she gave little credence to it. She quickened her pace, but so did the perpetrator. She began to walk fast, even faster. She had to duck inside the music building to lose him. Scared and panicked was she. What was she to do next? If she exits the building, he may still be there, waiting for her. Yet she had to bring herself to safety. With her heart still racing, she tried to calm herself. She opted to call campus safety, the campus police. "Please help. Someone is following me. I'm near the..." Her heart was telling her it was time for her to make a move. She slowly crept out the building, watching to see if the perpetrator was there, waiting for her. Carefully, he wasn't. She walked across the street to her apartment, still panicked, still scared. She told the doorman about her experience, but before she could really get into what happened, she burst into tears. What would possess someone to want to bring evil upon her? She was an upstanding citizen. She was a college student studying to be a school teacher, scholarship recipient, part-time secretary. She brought laughter and joy to people's lives. She made her parents proud, never shamed the family. Why? This question will probably tug at her for the rest of her life.
All right.